So with the Generation 3 reboot of the Monster High doll line means all characters get refurbished into something completely new with different looks. So you got Laguna, who is now pink. You got Draculaura, who is a witch. You got Frankie, who is now blue with a prosthetic. And honestly, I love to see it. I honestly prefer a lot of the Generation 3 designs more than I do with the Generation 1 designs. So it's really happy for me to be like, oh, look, there's a new Draculaura doll. I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. So when I started collecting in 2023 and I had Spectra and Abby's Creep production, and I was really sad because I missed out on Ghoulia. Then I got G3 Venus at Target, like I want to say like a month after, and I'm just like, wait, so this is like a different generation. I actually want to. Did they make Ghoulia? I actually want to see if they made Ghoulia, and then I found out they did. So I'm like pumped. I'm like, okay, I want to see what she looks like. So I like go on Google, I look it up, and I'm like all pumped. And I go to the images, and
No, it's nice. It's so nice.
yeah. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't want to seem like a Generation 1 purist where I get angry and foam at the mouth because Claudine doesn't look one-to-one with her Generation 1 counterpart. It's more the fact that I love the Generation 1 design, and when I was like imagining the Generation 3 design in my head, I'm thinking, okay, so she's gonna have like red, she's gonna have like, ooh, what if they give her like, like a side shave with like a brain coming out? Like, I was cooking up. So then when I found out that it's some like this, I was upset. I don't care. But over the years after she became discontinued, we got a brand new Buried Secrets doll with her. And I actually love this doll so much. Even so that I got myself a second one after I was finished this custom. Even though that she's unarticulated and she has polypropylene, she's just such a big step up from what we had. And I am so excited for the new Fearbook doll, and I really hope that Ghoulia becomes more prominent in Generation 3. But in the meantime of me recording this and when I upload this, we have zero information about the Fearbook Wave 3 dolls for Ghoulia and Laguna that's coming out. So I wanted to take it to a challenge of myself to see if I could make the most definitive version of Generation 3 Ghoulia. But before I even got my materials, I had to brainstorm of what I would want in a Generation 3 Ghoulia. I know the one thing that I really wanted her doll to have was pants. I feel like that was very much a staple in Ghoulia's design and what made her stand out from the other main characters. I would also love a lighter shade of blue for the hair. I'm not opposed to the dark blue. However, I feel like the light blue would really contrast and look a lot better with the dark outfit. Lastly, the things that I have to make for the outfit have to be pre-made. I am not really that good at sewing, and I'm not really good at hand making my own clothes, so I had to use what already existed from original dolls. The first thing I even did was just removing the head from the Buried Secrets body and then removing all of the hair so that it's 100% bald and all of the little polypropylene is just gone. I actually enjoyed Ghoulia's top from the Buried Secrets doll, so I cut that in half to make sure that that two-piece was turned into a one-piece. And already starting, we are on a great start. Second, I needed a Core 1 Ghoulia to salvage her pieces for this doll. I found a really cheap one on Mercari for about $10, and I ordered it and it quickly shipped to my house. And just for a brief time before I removed all of her pieces and I just kind of held the Ghoulia in my hand, I actually kind of liked her. It's a weird feeling, but like I feel like Gen 3 Ghoulia is just an acquired taste. I feel like you just got to be exposed to it for a little bit to actually enjoy it. And I actually did love holding her in my hand and playing with her and holding her pieces, and just, wow, she's really cute. And then I decapitated her. I wanted to use some of the clothes that the Gen 3 Ghoulia came with because I actually saw a lot of opportunity in them, especially the jacket. My first initial plan was to get some Laguna Core refresh pants, and then where the oil spill design was, put where the fabric of the brain pattern is, but that didn't really fall through. So instead what I did was I found out that the sleeves actually go in just like pants. So I just sewed a little bit and cut in the back, and boom, it's perfect. It's kind of amateur because, like I said, I'm not good at sewing, but I think I did pretty good. If you saw all my original photos talking about the pants, you can also see that I used like the little small belt part of the skirt as like its own belt. However, that didn't really work well because the waist was a little too big for it. So what I opted to do instead was make them into wristbands. So I just cut them in half, then I sewed those together, and voila. They don't look the best, and you can kind of tell that they're hand sewn, but it's whatever. I don't care. I also saw potential in the zipper, and I wanted to make that sort of like a tie where the shirt is. So I just sewed that together, and it looked actually really good. It reminded me of Avril Lavigne's one outfit. I can't think of like the exact one, but I'll just show a photo. And I really like that so much, but the way I stitched it first irritated the shit out of me, so I just redid it, and it just looks a lot neater. And I felt like the outfit was just missing like one thing to balance it out. So I saw these like the leg warmers, and then I put them on, and then I'm just like, this is it. I don't need to add anything else. I don't need to add anything less or more. This is perfect. Just leave it alone. And I did that. I am so proud of myself. Oh my. But the outfit was just the easy part. Next, I had to start with the rerouting. So I actually did reroute once, so I'm lucky to have that experience. But it was with a Gen 1 Laguna, and I found this clown hair in my art class, and I took it, and I didn't have an X-Acto to make my own DIY rerouting tool. So I used a drill, and I used the drill to plug in the head. And I didn't have enough clown hair, so I tied it up in like a side pony, and it looked great, but it didn't cure properly. So, and I sold it, so I don't know if the person that owns it now has a bald Laguna, but I am so sorry if that is you. Despite that absolutely unhinged moment of my life, I wanted to make sure that I did the rerouting thing right this time. So I actually did my research on what would be the best way to get doll hair, and I decided that my final decision was Shimmerlocks. I made sure that I got an X-Acto this time. I got this like bootleg Fabri-Tac glue. I don't even know if it's gonna cure right. We'll figure it out, dude. But I was ready for everything, and I knew what I was doing with the tutorials, with the everything. I was ready. So I spent like 5 hours just doing the typical method of just pulling a strand, picking it up, and then plugging it in the doll. And I watched probably like 10 My Little Pony episodes while doing this, and my arms and my butt were tired, and I was ready to just call it quits. And I did that. But I only had one issue, and that is that I didn't really utilize my materials properly. So there's like a whole side that is bald. I don't know what's wrong with me. I struggled so hard with being patient for this thing to dry because my ADHD brain was so motivated just to brush it and get it done now so that I'm not demotivated to do it never. So this was actually killing me. But for like 3 days, I let it dry, and I was like, you know what? I can't take it anymore. I'm brushing it out. And I did. Luckily, it cured, so I don't got to worry about nothing. And I just let it wash a little bit, and I had to think of a creative way to be like, how do I cover up this bald spot? Ponytail. Easy. And after all of that, this is what I got done. If you made it to the end, thank you so much for watching. It genuinely means a lot that you cared enough. But don't subscribe, get the fuck out. But I still am so happy that someone gave it shit enough to just to watch the whole thing, just to see, because this doll's so sentimental to me, because I've never worked so hard on a piece of plastic like this before. I can't wait to just not upload for like a whole year straight, but I guess by then, see you later. Hope you like Ben doll.